You've probably repeated it confidently at some point, maybe at a dinner table, maybe to a kid who asked, that sharks die if they stop swimming. It sounds like a fact, it feels like a fact, but it's only true for a small group of sharks, and the other 500 species do whatever they want, including sitting completely still on the ocean floor for hours while you weren't paying attention. So which sharks actually have to keep moving? What happens inside them if they stop? Why can some sharks rest on the sand like they're napping, and others literally cannot pause without suffocating? And why did evolution solve the same breathing problem two completely different ways inside the same animal family? Here's the real answer, and it goes deeper than you'd expect. Picture yourself at an aquarium. There's a shark cruising in a slow, wide circle, never stopping, never drifting to the bottom to rest. It looks mechanical, almost robotic, like something built to move and nothing else. And for that particular shark, that's exactly right. For certain species, forward swimming is directly connected to breathing. Moving water over the gills is the only way to pull oxygen out of it. Stop moving, stop breathing. But certain species is doing a lot of work in that sentence, and most people skip right past it. The misconception that all sharks must swim constantly or die got built because the sharks everyone knows happen to be the ones that do need to keep moving. Great whites, mako sharks, hammerheads, they're in every documentary, every movie poster, every aquarium centerpiece tank. The other 500 plus shark species that rest perfectly fine on the ocean floor, sometimes for hours, never make the highlight reel. Therefore, the behavior of about 20 famous species became the assumed rule for the entire family. You've been generalizing 500 animals based on the habits of 20, but why do those 20 have to keep moving at all? What's actually happening inside them? Fish breathe by moving water across their gills. Gill tissue pulls dissolved oxygen out of water the same way your lungs pull oxygen out of air. Most fish solve the water movement problem by pumping it through their mouths using jaw muscles, a method called buccal pumping, which just means using the mouth like a bellows to push water over the gills, whether the fish is moving or not. A goldfish sitting still in a tank is actively pumping water through its gills right now. It doesn't need to swim to breathe, but certain sharks, great whites, short fin mako sharks, whale sharks, scalloped hammerheads lost this ability somewhere along the way in their evolution or never fully developed it. They rely entirely on forward motion to push water into the mouth and over the gills. This method is called ram ventilation, meaning they use their own speed as the pump. Stop moving, water stops flowing, gills stop working, oxygen drops. It's that direct. These sharks traded the ability to rest for the ability to be fast and efficient in open water. Evolution made a deal and they cannot back out of it. But here's where it gets crazy. Other sharks kept a completely different solution. Nurse sharks, wobbegong sharks, leopard sharks, angel sharks, and hundreds of bottom-dwelling species kept their jaw pump fully working. They actively push water over their gills using jaw muscles even while lying completely still on the sand, like squeezing a bellows that never stops. Some of them can even reverse the water flow to clear debris from their gills, which the ram ventilators cannot do at all. Bottom-dwelling sharks breathe like a bellows. Open ocean sharks breathe like a jet engine intake. Same ocean, same oxygen, completely different engineering. And then there are the ones in the middle, which are the strangest of all. Some sand tiger sharks can switch between both methods, ram ventilating while swimming fast and buccal pumping while resting. One theory among marine biologists is that this flexibility represents an in-between evolutionary stage, neither fully committed to one system, but sand tigers do something even weirder on top of that. They swim to the surface and swallow air into their stomachs, using the trapped air as a buoyancy tool since they lack a proper swim bladder, the internal balloon most fish use to float at a set depth. Therefore, some sand tigers hover motionless in the water column, using a stomach full of swallowed air as a life jacket, while their gills keep quietly pumping. A shark floating in place on a belly full of air. That is a real thing that happens. Now here's how the body shape gives the whole thing away before you even know which species you're looking at. The must-keep-swimming sharks, great whites, mako sharks, salmon sharks, whale sharks, are built like torpedoes, long, streamlined, with pectoral fins that are fixed and rigid like airplane wings, providing lift as the shark moves forward. Stop the forward motion, and those rigid fins provide no lift. The shark sinks. The body shape commits these animals to movement in more ways than one. Mako sharks reach speeds around 45 miles per hour, roughly the speed limit on a suburban road. Nurse sharks move at about 1.5 miles per hour, slower than the average person walks. The body tells you everything. Torpedo means it must keep moving. Flat and wide means it can stop, wait, and ambush. And what about sleep? Sharks that must keep swimming don't sleep the way you do. No loss of consciousness, no REM cycle, no closed eyes. Most sharks have no eyelids at all. RAM ventilators appear to enter something researchers call yo-yo swimming, reduced speed, slower reactions, reduced brain activity, but still moving forward. One theory is that different parts of the brain rest in shifts while the body keeps going, similar to how dolphins sleep with one brain hemisphere at a time, while the other stays alert. A great white shark may spend its entire life in a state somewhere between fully awake and half resting, never arriving at either extreme. Sharks are older than trees. Not as a metaphor, sharks evolved around 450 million years ago, and trees appeared roughly 360 million years ago. Early shark ancestors almost certainly had full jaw-pumping ability, the same system most fish use today. But as certain shark lineages moved into faster open-water hunting roles over millions of years, they began relying more on forward speed and less on active jaw pumping. The jaw muscles gradually shrank because ram ventilation was already handling the job at the speeds these sharks were traveling. Use it or lose it at evolutionary timescales. But once those muscles reduced past a certain point, there was no going back. These sharks became permanently committed to forward motion. The great white's inability to stop is not a flaw or a weakness. It is the locked-in result of getting extremely good at speed over an almost unimaginable stretch of time. Sharks have been in the ocean 90 times longer than dinosaurs existed. The ones that must keep moving got trapped by their own success long before humans existed to watch them do it. This is the part everyone misses. The need to move or die logic runs through far more things than just sharks. Tuna and mackerel independently evolved ram ventilation. Open ocean bony fish that must also keep swimming to breathe, same mechanism, completely unrelated evolutionary path. A bicycle only stays upright while moving. Stop and it falls because forward motion is the stability system, not a separate feature. Airplane wings only generate lift when air moves over them at speed, slow below a certain point, and lift disappears entirely. The aerial version of a shark stopping. Rivers that stop flowing become stagnant. Oxygen levels drop, fish die, plant life changes. Because moving water is oxygenated water, the exact same principle a swimming shark depends on. Your own heart is a pump or die system. Stop pushing blood and oxygen delivery to tissue fails within minutes. Old spinning hard drives ran at 7,200 rotations per minute continuously because stopping and restarting caused more wear than just keeping them going. Rest was more dangerous than motion. Long-haul diesel engines in extreme cold are sometimes kept running rather than shut down because restarting from cold creates more mechanical stress than sustained operation. Supply chains work on the same logic. Goods sitting still in a warehouse cost money and rot. The whole efficiency of modern shipping is built on keeping things moving. The shark isn't special for needing motion. It's just the most dramatic example of a principle that engineering and biology keep rediscovering independently. Here's the honest part. The must-keep-swimming reality creates a problem that no aquarium has solved. Great white sharks have never been kept alive in captivity for more than a few months. They ram into tank walls, stop eating, and decline even when they're still technically moving. One theory among marine researchers is that great whites navigate using Earth's magnetic field across thousands of miles of open ocean, and captivity removes every environmental signal their nervous system expects to receive. The Monterey Bay Aquarium holds the record, 198 days with a juvenile great white before releasing it when it began showing signs of serious decline. The most famous shark in the world cannot survive in the most advanced aquariums ever built. Not because the tanks are too small, because the animal was built for an ocean, and an ocean is not something you can put in a building. Some sharks must swim to breathe. They traded rest for speed, and evolution locked the deal in permanently. Most sharks stop whenever they feel like it. The one you're picturing right now can't, and nothing built by humans has changed that.